dice out.
All right, let's see. I got my 12s, my 10s, my 8s, my 6. Okay, surprising number of dice are actually needed for this.
I think pretty much everything other than D20.
Yep, but only 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you need a total of 15 dice for a single person at most. Oh, we're live. How about that?
Yay.
All right, let's say hi to everyone.
Hi to everyone.
Yeah. So, hey everybody, IzzyCraze365 here. We're doing something a little bit new and unique this time around. So, for those of you who don't know, I've always enjoyed playing Sentinels of the Multiverse, originally starting with the card game, and then the video game. Wex, jump in at any point here. And
I also love Sentinels.
And played it since it started coming out back when I was in college. And then after college, me and Graveless, my friend Nick, decided to write a LARP for Sentinels of the Multiverse, which, we made little cute backstories that weren't exactly canon, but, multiverse, this is an alternate universe kind of thing.
To be fair, as someone who listens to the podcast a lot, everything is canon.
Everything is canon?
According to the creators, everything is canon simply by the way they set up their universe.
Okay, cool. So this is a canon game within the creation of it. And one of the things they have started doing now is they have started releasing a little bit of content for the Kickstarters of Sentinels Comics, the role-playing game, or Sentinels Comics RPG, SCRPG. And what they have now is they've released Chapters 2, which is playing the game, and Chapters 3, which is what we're going to be focusing on today, which is the character, or the creating heroes. So while I was at work today, I actually created 2 characters. Ironically, I ended up with a former criminal and a former villain. But if you go through this book, it's actually really fascinating. And Wex, please feel free to follow along with me on this, because what me and Wex are going to be doing right now is we're going to be creating characters.
Yeah, I mean, I've glanced at this, a little bit, but, I have not had a chance to delve into it yet. So this is gonna be my first time making characters in this system, and I'm really interested to see how it works.
Yep. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to jump. I actually took notes on what pages you need to start on. So we're going to jump over to page 54, so you can skip the first couple of pages. But what the first couple of pages say is there's 2 basic ways that you can create a hero. The first is the guided method, which is what we're going to be doing right now. It features, you don't really have an idea, but you're going to be rolling dice, and the character develops from that point forward. The second is the constructed method. So Wex, if you're up for it, I'm thinking we'll build 2 characters using the guided method, which is the dice rolling, see what we come out with. And then we'll each pick a hero or, a villain of something that exists in other media, comic books, movies, etc., that is not Sentinels related, and try to build them using the constructed method.
That sounds fun.
Okay. So, first thing to note, we're going to jump over to page 54. At least that's how it reads on my PDF. The top of this page is going to say qualities and abilities. Or powers and qualities, apologies. That's actually page 53. This is the one page that you are constantly going to need to constantly go back and reference. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about how this game works or whatnot, every time you make a dice roll, you roll 3 dice. Be it, 3 of the same dice, like D12s, or a mix of dice, like a D6, a D12, and a D8. And how you roll is very simply determined. You take one of your dice-leveled powers, mix it with a dice-leveled quality. Qualities are at the bottom of the page, Wex.
Okay.
And then the status die. The status die comes in 3 colors. The system calls it the GYRO methodology. What that stands for is green, yellow, red, and out. So at different health levels, which are determined later on, your status...
Gyro. It's the gyro method.
The gyro method, thank you. The status of your character will determine what abilities you have available to you, and your dice pool for your status changes based off of what health level you're in gyro. Obviously, out is out, but some heroes are stronger when they're in the green, but others really shine when they're in the red. Others are static along all 3 levels of health.
I admit, by the way, I'm very interested to see how the heroes in the game are designed around this system,
Yeah.
since there are some heroes that I could see really fitting that well.
Hmm.
Where, for example, like, man, I want to see how Setback is designed, for example.
So I actually have Freedom 5 plus Unity and the Daybreak team, which is exclusive to the RPG, because I bought one of the other modules. So we can take a look at those afterwards.
I also have the Freedom 5 Unity. I don't have the Daybreak team, which I actually want more because I think they're fascinating as a team.
So the Daybreak team, I will say this, and I'll get into this a little bit later, but Bunker and oh gosh, what the heck is El Muerto? Are the two most complicated heroes they built because they use module and modes, which give them an entirely extra sheet. So we're gonna not do anything quite like that yet. But
Muerte's cool.
He
And
is.
sad. Side note: do you know his lore, by the way?
Yes,
super sad.
yes, I know exactly who he is. He was actually in the he was one of the recasts in the game, and we didn't realize it at the time who he became.
Things do not go well for him in the normal timeline.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna skip past this page. I actually printed this page as a separate PDF, and I'll pull it up right now as a constant source to reference back to because you constantly need to.
Do you recommend doing that? I own a printer as well, so I might just.
I just exported it as a separate PDF so I can quickly shift over to it.
I think I'll just print the page.
Yeah, I recommend that page more than any other because you need to go back to it so many times. So we're now going to skip over to the next page, background and quick references. So how you start this game off is you roll 2d10s. Okay? Now you're going to notice that everything is labeled 1 to 20. How you do this is you roll the 2d10s. Now if you think about that, well, wait a minute, 2d10s? That means I can never roll a 1. And why is upper class even an option? The reason for that is you don't necessarily have to add the 2d10s. By rolling in this manner, you're giving yourself up to 3 options. So right now I got an 8 and I got a 2. Okay? So backgrounds, I rolled an 8 and a 2.
All right, let me roll. I'll kind of do this in parallel with you.
Yeah.
I got a 2 and a 7.
Okay, so write those numbers down. 2 and a 7. The fact that you rolled 2d10s does not matter. Dice size will matter eventually, but it doesn't matter for this because it's the first step. Okay? So now what that means is we have 3 options. In my case, since I rolled a 2 and an 8, my first option is I can have a dynasty hero, which is the number 2. I can have a tragic hero, or I can have a military hero. So it's either one of the numbers individually, or you add the 2 numbers together. Later on, you're going to be rolling 3 dice, and you can pick one of those dice rolls or any combination of the 2. That's how the character building works. You can never add 3 dice together, though. Okay?
All right. So I have an interesting option here, and I don't know if this is a flaw or a typo. But one of my options is the academic. That is the only thing on the page with only 2 dice.
This is not, repeat, not a typo. So you'll understand this when we scroll down. We're going to go with me first, if that's okay. I'm going to take tragic, which is an 8. Okay.
So sad.
Yeah, and if we look back there, tragic is 57, page 57. Okay, we're going to make a note of that, and we're just going to jump straight down to it.
Okay. So again, if I'm paralleling you,
Yep.
I'm going to take the academic and be a nerd.
Okay, so we'll read through the academic together first. That's an 8, right? Okay, you're right above me, actually, so this is easy.
That's a 7, yeah.
Okay, so read the above. Assign a d12 and a d8 dice to 2 of these qualities. Now notice on mine, tragic, assign a d10 and a d8 to 2 of these qualities. So we're only getting 2 qualities, okay, out of this. And if you read what your little thing is, mine says, your history is eclipsed by a major negative event that has shaped the rest of your life. You struggle to overcome the memory of a tragic event, be it the loss of a loved one or something happened to you directly. Either way, the tragedy both fuels and haunts you. Whereas, what does yours say?
You work to study in a field of knowledge. You could be a school teacher, professor, researcher, or clergy member. Pursuit of knowledge is very important to you, and possibly what led you to become a hero.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now that we've got that, we have these options. Now notice yours says leadership, self-discipline, or from an information quality category. So if you look at the information, you have options from criminal underworld info, deep space knowledge, history, magical lore, medicine, otherworldly mythos, science, and technology.
What page am I looking? Oh, this is the reference page.
This is the one I told you to print out, yeah.
Okay,
you're going to constantly be going back to this one. Notice,
That's
though,
right.
that leadership and self-discipline, leadership is a... Where the heck is leadership?
Social.
It is social, and self-discipline is where is mental. Notice that mental in the qualities and athletic in the powers have little stars next to them. That can give you bonus HP at the end of the character creation. It's not necessary, but it's something to take note of.
Okay, so...
Also, if you want to know exactly what each of these stats means, there is a very quick handout in the back of the book.
So it looks like, based on this recommendation, self-discipline's probably pretty good to have.
All right, so I'll just read you real quick what self-discipline does. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom. Okay, these are the principles, which I don't need yet. Hero advancement, we don't need to worry about these yet either. Oh, okay. I went too far. Blah, 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 blah. I actually wrote down what page they were on. This is another thing that is good to have as a quick reference if you don't know what all of these mean initially. I actually don't know what self-discipline means. I assume it is like a contest of wills. The other thing...
I also assume it's kind of like that, like... It's like a composure stat I've seen in other games. Like, don't show pain, resist, like mental effects, be able to, like, not pass out.
Okay, got it. Self-discipline. After practiced meditation and honed willpower, you have incredible depths of discipline over your emotions. So, not showing anything effectively.
So I get self-discipline, and I get I can pick leadership, or I can get an information. Yeah.
And information has options. Also important to note, the qualities you pick will affect your red abilities, which is when you're almost down and out.
Let's see. So, I mean, let's go in order. What are you picking, Izzy?
I don't even remember what the heck I had.
Right under mine.
Yeah, I know. I'm jumping back to page 57. All right, so let's see. Banter, close combat, imposing, and mental qualities. So what I think I am going to go with is I'm definitely going to go with banter, because I would like to have a social skill of some kind. And then imposing is also social, or mental category. I'm going to go with banter and creativity. And what I'm
like some sort of like snarky comedian or something.
Yeah, tragic. Like I might be on the path to building the Joker, but we'll find out what the hell I roll. So I'm going to put my banter at my D8 level, and I'm going to put the creativity at my at the D10. You have to pick all of these now. That's the
okay.
Like, there's a step later on which is you can go back and change things, but you can only affect things so much.
So, for myself, I'm picking self-discipline because I think it is a useful quality, but I could go with leadership now or an information. I think an information is more character-defining, so I'm going to take that.
Okay, which type of information?
See, that's going to really affect my who I am in a lot of ways. I'm almost thinking, because I'm in that kind of mood, I think I'm going to take otherworldly mythos.
Okay, now that does not mean alien. That means dimension.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
This is definitely like some sort of paranormal investigator type person.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Or like this is like maybe a protagonist out of a Cthulhu book.
Okay, good to know. So,
I don't know. Like, I want to see where this goes, but this is probably someone who's a little like off the beaten path. You
okay.
don't get expertise in that. In fact, I'm going to be so like expertise in it that it is my D12.
That is awesome. Okay.
And D
Now,
will do the D8 for self-discipline.
a D12 is godly. Now we also need to choose. You need to choose an expertise, which it says the page is there. I need to choose a ideal principle. So
Okay,
so in this game, this is one of the reasons I like the system what they've put out thus far is it's more of a collective storytelling than anything else. You have the option to fail if you don't roll well enough, but you can always turn that failure into a success with a twist. The thing is, you need to figure out what that twist is, and that's determined by your principles. So I have an ideal principle. So now we're just going to jump to those pages that it specifies. I'm going to jump to 137. You should be jumping to 133.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Principle of chaos, compassion, defender, dependence, equality, great power. Principle of the hero, principle of honor, principle of justice, principle of liberty, principle of order. Going with banter and creativity already, self-preservation, principle of the zealot. I think I am going to go with the principle of great power.
Boy, principle of whispers is tempting.
Is that an expertise?
Yep, I believe so. Well, I mean, like, how can I tell? I assume that's just under this category, right?
It'll say expertise at the top.
Yeah, these are expertise principles, so there's a lot here, but I don't want to really go with the tech stuff. That doesn't seem what I'm building.
Okay, so you copy everything in that box onto your sheet.
Well, I want to make sure it's the one I want.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, this is a weird one to choose right now because we don't have superpowers yet.
I know. There's an option late. So at the very end, you have an option to add something or change something you have already added.
Okay, so like I might come back to this one after I pick.
Yeah. Also,
I feel like I'm pigeonholing myself, but I feel like Principles of Whispers with Otherworldly Mythos is definitely too on point for this.
All right, there you go. You can do that. So
this is not copying very well. All right, you know what? Snippet tool. You're my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, should we read ours?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So I have Principle of Whispers. During roleplay, you hear a voice in your head that no one else hears. That voice tells you things, which might be true or false, but the voice certainly seems to know a lot. Minor twist. How'd the voice in your head just distract you now? Major twist. What is the voice demanding of you now? Let's see. In game, overcome against a challenge. The game text overcome against a challenge that involves information that you have no real way of knowing, and use your max die. You and each of your allies gain a hero point.
So a hero point, you can get up to 5 of them in a given session, and then during subsequent sessions, you can split those up into bonuses. So if you say earn 4 hero points in a session, you can then choose to have those stored as 4 plus 1 bonuses, or 1 plus 4 bonus, or a plus 3 and a plus 1, etc. It's used once and then it goes away. You can only ever have 1 bonus on a roll at a time. So that's kind of how you get your character advancement, because you don't, from what I've seen, you don't really gain new powers. I might be wrong about that, but from what I've seen, it's mostly just gaining these points. Because with everything you can do, it's broad enough that you can pretty much do whatever you need to. Like, you're never going to be like stuck with unable to do something. All right, so Wex, now we're going to jump over to page 6. I'm sorry, I'm already jumping ahead a little bit. All right, now that that's done, we are going to go back to our original page, which is 57.
All right.
Okay, so now we've got our expertise. The last thing is we roll the die. So in your case, you get a D10 and I get a D8. I have a 10, and a 6.
Okay.
Important, write these down that you have a D10 roll D10 and D8.
Okay.
Oh.
I am curious why I have one less than everyone else.
So that's the one thing about this system I've noticed, and I'm not sure if they're still modding it or not. But so for the power sources, it goes from 1 to 20. You cannot roll higher than an 18. There are some of these that can't roll higher than a 16. There's only 2 that can get to 19 and 20. Tragic is one of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll these dice. I've got my 2 D10s and my D6.
All right, I've got my D8 and my D10.
Okay. I have a 7, a 6, and a 5.
I have a 6 and a 9.
Okay, so 7, 6, 5. We only need to write these numbers down. 7, 6, 5. Okay. So now we're going to jump over to page, I think it's 63?
That looks right. 62.
Oh, 62. My bad. Okay, now from here it's the same way as we did before when we picked our background. So now we have our power source.
And those are the powers that we can get from that source?
Yes. So,
all right.
So for example, since I rolled a 7, a 6, and a 5, I can get mystical, nature, relic, or I can add the 5 and the 6 together to be 11, and I can have supernatural, or I can add the 5 and the 7 together to get 12, being artificial being, or I can...
You have more options than I do, actually.
I do, because I have more dice, yeah. Or cursed, because signature weapon, any athletic, elemental materials, or self-control.
See, my options are a little more limited. I can take genius, radiation, or nature.
Okay. What do I feel? Relic actually looks kind of fun, but I already built one of those earlier today. So
I'm gonna go with nature.
You go with nature. I also built an artificial being, and that's fun. You know what? I'm gonna go with cursed.
So my power source is nature.
Okay.
I got a plan for this.
Cursed, and mine is on. Okay, I only get 2 dice from cursed, but that's okay. Okay. So,
you're in my boat now.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. So jump down to your thing. What did you get in? You said nature?
I said I picked nature as my power source.
Okay, so here's how this works. Okay, so assign all the dice you rolled at the end of the background step to any of the following powers. So in your case, you rolled 2 dice. So you get to pick any 2 things. Okay?
That feels so, like... I'm a little mad at academic. I'm interested in learning the system, but, like, that feels so limiting.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it only has 2 dice. We'll see. I think it might have given you a couple of options that most other things don't. I'm not sure. It could be wrong.
That's fine. I know the one thing I really wanted from this category, so it's okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Signature weapon, select athletics power category. Athletics, speed, strength, vitality. Not sure.
So and these are all powers, right?
Yeah, these are all power. Self-control power. Sometimes it'll give you a quality, like there's a few things that'll say you must take flying or you must take stealth or something along those lines. You can also look at the powers below there, the yellow and the green. Costly strength, boost nearby allies, hinder yourself. That's not bad. Cursed resolve, boost yourself with. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, cool. Okay.
Some of these powers feel very on different levels than each other.
Yeah, I think it depends mostly on what you're going to be going with. Okay, so both of my green abilities are interrupts, which I think are hilarious. Double-edged luck or extremes. which I like. On a dice, you must re-roll those dice. Whenever you roll a die's max value, treat it as one higher. We're probably going to do that. Okay, so I'm thinking, first things first, what powers am I going to be taking? Elemental or energy?
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. So I get 2 powers. You get 3 powers, right?
Yes. Well, no, I get 3 power dice sections. Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to run that one by me again.
Yeah. So from these bullets, I can pick 3 things. Because
I can pick 2 things.
Yes. What are your dice again?
For this is from academic, right?
Yes.
I have a D10 and a D8.
That's what you rolled at the end of academic?
No. I rolled a 6 and a 9.
No. What are the dice sizes?
A D10 and a D8.
A D10 and yeah, that's what you can.
Yeah.
I think they might have just forgotten to add a die into that, because if one of those was a 12, that would make more sense. But we'll see. Alright, so let's see. I am going to take... What should I take? Weaponry... Where's weaponry? Oh, signature weaponry. Athletics, elemental energies, materials, or self-control. Okay.
See if the form has anything about this.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is still the beta. This isn't the final product, not by a long shot. Just do it as is. You're going to be building a new character in a little bit anyway.
True. So again, to help me out, I get 2 of these. Then.
You get 2 of these, yes.
Okay.
So just pick 2. That actually helps you with your options. I think I am going to go... Oh, cursed? Perfect. Duplication. Power, self...
Is there a description of any of these powers anywhere?
Yes, in the description section at the bottom for the explained. It starts on page 121.
Okay, because I want to read one before I commit to it.
Yeah.
I have an idea for something, but I want to be like, all right, let's double check this before I see if it is the concept I think it is.
Yeah. All right. So, athletic. I don't even know. Okay, so there's. You know what? I'm putting duplication at 10. Because that just seems funny. Okay. Next up, material. No.
Like I said, I'm also looking through to see what like makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like this is the part where we're like, let's make this a little cohesive.
Yeah. Athletics, no. Agility, speed, strength, vitality are just boring. Materials. Metal, plant, stone, toxic, or transmutation.
I was considering materials as well, though I think the only one I like is toxic, but even then I don't think I want to go that direction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? I know what I'm doing. Element, sonic.
Alright.
Elemental energy. That's a power. That'll be a D10 as well. And then I'll put speed. Athletic. Actually, no. Do I want speed? Do I want something else? I wish I had mobility right now.
I'm considering a mobility power.
Again, the thing is, we're going to get to do this again in a little bit later when we pick our personality, so there's going to be more stuff coming.
Because I can choose any athletic or material power in addition to this list.
Mm. Yeah, you know what?
So I think like I said, I think I have better concept. Let's see.
Yep. All right. So as that's being done, I get to pick some yellow powers now. So let's see. Attunement. When you would take damage from
Oh yeah, that.
power energy, you may recover that amount of health instead. The power energy I have is Sonic, which is really silly. Whenever I take Sonic damage, I recover health. But I actually kind of like Costly Strength and Cursed Resolve a little bit more. Boost nearby allies using power. So the note, the yellow powers need to use different powers. That is an important thing.
Sorry, say again?
So if you read, when you pick your 2 yellow powers, it needs to use a different power unless otherwise specified. So
Okay,
for example, if I pick Costly Strength and Cursed Resolve, one of them I can put onto Duplication, the other I can put onto Speed.
Okay, so again, help me out with the process since you've done this already.
Yep.
So the 2 powers I'm taking are Shapeshifting and Vitality.
Okay, cool. What are the yellow options you have now?
Well, do I assign dice to them first?
Assign dice to those, yes.
And I'd use that from my background dice or my power source dice?
So those would be the dice that you rolled to get your power source at the end of the background check.
Okay, that would be the background dice then.
Yes.
Okay.
For the last set of dice you just rolled that you only rolled 2 of.
Okay, so I like the... I'm going to go with a D8 for Shapeshifting and a D10 for Vitality.
Okay.
So then I pick 2 yellows and 1 green,
Yes.
according to my thing.
Yes.
And one is... They're each associated with something different?
Well, it does gain 2 of these yellow abilities. Does it say each using a different power?
No.
What does it say?
Gain 2 of these yellow abilities.
Oh, then you can assign it to the same thing.
Okay.
Lucky you.
So I probably want to assign it to the higher one then, right?
Probably, yeah. So pick the 2 that make sense.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Costly Strength.
Okay, so I get 2 of these.
Mm-hmm.
I like... And like these are a separate category. These are like specific powers.
These are your combat powers or out of combat abilities.
So I should probably have like a separate place for them.
Yeah, you're gonna want to put all your yellows together, all your greens together, and all your reds together eventually.
Snippet tool is my friend.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Predator's Eye and Wild Strength. How do I like? Are they associated with anything for me, or are they just I just have them?
You just have them. Note the name of these. The names you can change. That's free. It's just
okay.
This is the name that they decided to give them at the beginning. So, for example, you can change. What does Predator's Eyes do?
I attack using a power. I use my max and min dice, and then I gain a boost using my mid die. The target of the attack gains a boost of the same size.
Okay, and what are you?
Oh, so Predator's Eye helps out an ally, right?
What does it say? Target?
Attack using power.
Yep.
Use your max and min.
Mm-hmm.
Then gain a boost using your mid.
Mm-hmm.
Target of a boost. The target of the attack gains a boost. So I actually boost a enemy by doing this?
Yep.
But I assume this is a more powerful attack then.
So whenever you roll the dice, you're often using your mid die. Using your max plus min is pretty powerful.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm fine with that.
So what power are you basing it off of?
Does it have to be based off of something?
Does it specify power
No.
in brackets?
No.
No?
It just says attack using blank power.
Okay, so you have to assign that to one of your powers that you have above.
Okay.
So which...
Whereas the other one does not have a power
Then
assigned.
then it's just there.
Okay. So let's assign... I mean, do I want to just assign them both to my best power?
You only need to assign... Well, again, you just replace the brackets where it says power with the power that you're choosing. If it doesn't have a thing that says... If it doesn't have a... Here, let me look at your thing. What page are you on?
I'm on page 66.
Okay. Which power are you looking at? Predator's
Looking
Eye?
at Predator's Eye and Natural Weapon.
What's your second yellow ability?
Wild Strength. That has no power associated with it.
Okay. Yeah, you can assign those both to the same thing.
And, like, just for me, and, like, I know this is a terrible way to go about it, but my brain is a little min-maxy, and I'm like, oh, wouldn't I just want to put these on the same power? Like, the highest one?
Yeah, you can do that. Unless it specifies you can't, you can. Alright, so while you're doing that, I have Cursed Resolve. I'm also going to take Extremes, which is a very dumb green power.
What does it do?
Whenever I roll a die's max value, treat it as 1 higher. Whenever I roll a 1 on a die, treat that die as if I had rolled a 0. Like, it's like the most setback ability ever.
Yeah. No, so, like, I'm kind of on the fence about this because I want my higher die to be Vitality rather than Shapeshifting, but it makes less sense for these to be attached to Vitality as opposed to Shapeshifting.
I mean, you can always assign them to a lower die if you want.
Don't want to do that, though.
Don't worry. You can, again, later on, we're going to be coming back here and swapping some stuff.
Yeah, I'll put them in Vitality now and just... I have some thoughts on this.
Alright, so let's see. Boost nearby allies using a power. Or boost myself. Okay, so I'm going to boost myself using speed. Which is only a D6. But that's okay because I have the extremes. And then boost all allies. This is going to be used with duplication.
You know, we'll switch them because it makes more sense for shape-shifting to go with all this.
Okay. Next up, I now get to roll a D12 and a D6.
I get a D10 and 2 D8s.
Okay. So, let's roll. D12, D6.
All right.
Okay, I got a 3 and 11.
I got a 10, a 6, and a 2.
Alright, write those down. Alright, so my options aren't bad. So now we're going to scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
Now we're going to archetypes. Page. And it's the same deal as before.
I have options this time.
Yep. Notice at the very bottom, modular and divided are very complicated.
Yeah. I could have gotten... or no, because I combined any 2 dice, right?
Yes, you can't get 3.
Okay. That gives me, so I actually have a lot of don't I have like 6 options then?
Yes, you do. I only have 3 options this time.
Okay, so I could be a shadow, not really feeling that one. Could be a close quarters combat, tempting. It could be a robot, definitely not the way I want to go take this character.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Be a flyer.
I'm sorry.
What?
Okay, so my options for my 2 dice. I have Physical Powerhouse, which, that's a standard bruiser. That's okay. 11 is Sorcerer, which is kind of cool with magic and whatnot. Or 14, Minion Maker, which I have to take.
Are you doing? I'm gonna do Form Changer because it is fitting with how I want this to go.
Okay, so you're kind of building a naturalist.
Not exactly.
Okay, like
Well, sort of. Like I will expand it more when we get further
gotcha.
in the way I am seeing this coming together.
Minion Maker, page 92.
So this is our archetype, right?
Yes, this is our archetype.
Okay, so I'm doing a Form Changer. Gives me.
And you could just jump down to the page that it is. So I'm jumping to 92.
All right.
All right, so above it says assign 1 or more of the dice you rolled at the end of the power source step, meaning the last dice we just rolled. So you have 3, I now have 2. At the end of this, and here's one of the key things here. Assign 1 or more dice you rolled at the end of the power source step to any of these powers. Duplication, inventions, part detachment, robotics, materials. And assign any remaining dice to these qualities. Anything in information, anything in mental.
I have a lot to read.
Yep.
Goes to a power from the self-control category. I do not. I have shape shifting. Why would I skip this step and not take more powers?
In case you wanted qualities, because remember, whenever you're rolling dice, you roll 1 power, 1 quality, and your status. If you don't have a quality that applies, you default to a D4.
I missed all of that. You're gonna have to say that again.
Okay, whenever you roll your dice in the game, you always roll 3 dice: a power, a quality, and your status die. If you don't have something that makes sense for you to be able to do as far as qualities go, you end up defaulting to a D4. Notice there are no D4s during character creation.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you are literally worse for the wear. So the qualities give you a chance to branch out a little bit.
Well, but it doesn't say I get a quality instead. It just says you can. I need a self-control power. If I already have one, I can either add another or just skip this.
Okay, read the following line. So it's saying you need to take a self-control power. What page are you on?
I'm on page 96.
96. Okay, here, we'll go over this together. Assign 1 of the dice you rolled at the end of your power source step, the power of a self-control count.
Oh, I see.
So if you already have one, you have 3 dice. You have to assign 1 to a self-control. If you already have, then you have 2 left to pick something from the powers and then the qualities. If you already have a self-control, you then have 3 dice to spend on the following category of powers.
I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of that actually does make a lot of sense. I get that now.
Oh crap, minions. Minion Maker is ridiculous. Okay,
so it's not good to get a giant amount of powers then, in theory.
I mean, you can if you want to be varied, but from what I've seen, it's good to have a good mix.
All right, I want to look at the power description again.
Yeah, let's see. I can get duplication. I can get inventions, which, nah.
Where are the power descriptions again?
121. Robotics or part... Ooh, robotics. What's robotics?
So the shape changer, I get self-control. Nope, don't want that. That.
125. Robotics. You are able to create your own robot servitors.
Am I able to use 2 powers at the same time?
Again, it's more of a narrative based thing, so normally you would be using one instead of the other. That said, if you want to apply something like, I'm going to be, getting massive, it depends on your DM.
Well, because I know the self-control power I want, because I want, like, I'm taking this a little beyond, for example, the naturalist here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm taking size changing and shape shifting.
Okay.
Which gives me a large variety of things I can now be.
Yeah, because actually, if you look at shapeshifting, you have to remain roughly, the same amount of mass. Size
But not if I take size changing
exactly.
in addition to that.
Yeah.
Yes. So I like that.
Yeah. No, that's totally legit.
Give me my self-control power. All right. Then I get athletics. So I can have up to two more. I can have up to two more power. I can pretty much have any combination of like 3 powers, or 1 power and 2 qualities, or 2 powers and 1 quality, as I kind of see fit.
Correct.
I feel like I should at least get a mobility power somewhere here.
Yeah, like, I apparently got screwed. The closest I have is speed. I already have creativity. I don't think
how will mobility powers work and play as compared to other powers?
They get you from point A to point B quickly.
Well, like, what if I have like shape shifting? Can I just use that as a mobility power, or it's a little confusing to me still.
I mean, again, depends on the DM. We haven't actually gotten that part of the book given to us yet. I'd assume you could probably turn into a bird and fly, but, that would be kind of like...
Yeah.
I also kind of screwed myself. I didn't take a physical thing, so I have no close combat, no fighting, no nothing. This is rough.
Like, no close combat, like, attacks, you mean?
So the quality, my stuff right now is, banter, creativity, duplication, sonic, and speed. I've got no physical qualities, so I don't have acrobatics, close combat, finesse, ranged combat, anything that would be useful in a combat situation. That's a problem.
I see. Okay, that actually makes sense. So
yeah.
I think I'm going to take the close combat quality.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to take conviction.
Because I get 1... I can take from information and physical. I don't really feel like I need to know more information. I'm happy with the one thing I have. You mentioned, like, yeah, physical close combat would probably be really good.
Yeah. Again, that's more or less if you are, in a combat situation. So I took mental. I took conviction for mental, and I took science as information. So I am a duplicator who is very quick and can make sonic booms effectively.
Okay, so I have a question. Is there ways to get any more qualities after this?
I think personality gives you an option, yeah.
Because I see a quality I want, but I have not had access to it at any point during this process.
You may get lucky on your next roll. Otherwise, you will not get it.
Okay, fair enough.
That's just... Again, we're doing the dice roll version of this.
Yep. Let's see. I need to go look back at powers again.
Yep, no problem. That's why I told you print out that thing. All right, so now I get to choose. I'm going to start picking my power sets. Let's see. I just gained both of these green abilities. Make minion. Active. And it's going to be through duplication. Oh my gosh. I think I'm building what's his name.
I know exactly what I'm building. So I am actually only going to take one more power,
Okay.
and I'm going to take 2 quality.
Which qualities?
So I'm taking size changing. I'm also taking close combat and stealth.
Interesting.
I have a concept I'm going for, and I assume I assign the dice to these as well.
Yes, you assign your 3 dice to each of those.
Okay, so when close combat is a D8 or D10, size changing is a D8, and stealth is a D8.
That's a good dice pool.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so now back to form changer. Like I'm liking what I'm creating here.
Yeah, my guy started out. Let's see, boost another hero or one of your minions using. Well, it's just power. What powers do I have? Duplicate. Oh, it doesn't matter. Boost another hero or one of your minions using Sonic.
So you make minions and have Sonic stuff?
Yep.
You are friggin' Echo from Ben 10.
Yeah, no, that's what I realized. Like, I'm just like, as I'm splitting apart, I'm, effectively, leaving behind after images of sound. Like, this is the first time I've seen it just says gain both of these green abilities. Let's see. Gain one of the following abilities. Minion formation. Reduce any damage you take by the number of minions you have. Whenever damage is reduced this way, reduce this... Oh, that's terrible. Reduce the size of one of your minions.
Okay, so let's see. I gain the following green ability. I just gain change forms.
I guess rapid deployment, or, minion formation makes the most sense. And that's a reaction, which is kind of cool.
Let's see. Got change forms, which is a power I get. I'm just going to attach it to shape shifting.
Yep.
That's the primary thing I want to go to. The size changing was very supplementary to help that out.
Yep. And then, in addition to the normal list, the following red abilities are available to you when you...
I either gain form recovery or surprise shift. So let's see. I can either... recovery and gain health. Attack. Then change to any form available. Okay, so I can either shift to recover myself, or I can shift to punch something, but like lose health in doing so. I think I'm going to do form recovery because I see this as like an amazingly durable character.
Okay, go for it.
I want someone who is like very difficult to take down.
Sure.
Just going through my process.
Perfectly legit.
What about you? How are you doing?
Crazy minion maker so far, with a weird luck ability.
Oh dear, I have to select forms.
Ha ha. Oh, is that a second page thing?
I have multiple pages, yes. I'm still in green. I have not left green yet.
Oh boy.
These are the parts of your base form. Make 2 other green forms. Recording them on your auxiliary sheet. You may swap dice between your powers for each form, including adding powers from the above list and dropping others. Each one gains a different ability only usable on that form. So, what?
Okay, this might have been a little too complicated for your first character, but effectively, pick a couple of the green powers. I haven't even done this one yet because this is the same as module and modes. So you have a couple of abilities in your green, your yellow, or your red that are only available for you to use when you're in a specific form.
How many forms do I make?
Didn't it
I'll
just say make two?
Make two other green forms.
Yeah, that.
So everything so far is for my base form, right?
Thus far, yes.
Okay. So now I make two other forms.
And I need to pick an expertise principle.
And I get to add powers from that list and drop others according to this.
Yep.
This is where it's getting a little weird.
What page are you on again? 96?
I'm on 16. I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick.
Let me read this. Form change, take a basic action.
I made something complicated.
Yep. Okay. These are part of your base form. Make two other green forms, recording them on your auxiliary sheet. You may swap dice between your powers for each form. From the above list and dropping... Oh, gosh. Ability only while in this form.
Okay, I'm back. What have you learned?
Okay, so here's how this works. You gain the change form's green power. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so then it says gain one of the following abilities. Change using self-control power and using your dice, or attack using this. So the top one, form recovery, makes no sense for you to have as your base form. What you want is surprise shift, because it says you can then change to any available form.
Okay.
Then these are parts of your base.
So I don't want form recovery.
It says return to your... Hold on a second. These are part of your base form. Make two other green forms, recording them on your auxiliary sheet. You may swap dice between your powers for each form, including adding dice from this above list and dropping others. Each one gains a different ability. So I'm not sure if you keep form recovery and surprise. It seems like you do keep these green powers. So form recovery and surprise shift are two things you can keep. So you said you wanted form recovery, so take that.
Yeah, it makes more sense the way I want to play this.
Okay, so you have two other forms which you need to decide what they are, and you get to pick one of the green forms, the green ones for each one.
All right.
Okay.
So I get two. So I pick two of those forms listed there.
Clever form, minuscule, and then you can rename it whatever you want.
Right.
Here's the thing. So what powers do you currently have?
This is just green powers, right?
No. Powers and qualities. These are abilities.
I currently have shapeshifting, size changing, and vitality.
That's it?
Yep.
What are your dice for those?
D10, D8, D8.
Where's the D10 right now?
Shapeshifting.
Okay. So, according to this, you can take the D10 for... you can swap your dice for each of your new forms. So your shapeshifting can become a D8, and one of those other two powers, like vitality, can become the D10 when you're in one of the forms. You may swap your dice between your powers for each form, including adding powers from the above list and dropping others.
Like powers... What is it referring to with that? Like the
athletic powers, mobility powers, self-control powers, technology.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you want a flying form, you can lose... What were your three powers again?
Okay. I can swap in powers or just qualities?
Powers specifically.
Okay.
Um,
All right, that's interesting. Okay.
Make two other green forms, recording them on your. You may swap dice between your powers for each form, including adding powers from the above list and dropping others. So yeah, so not only can you swap out powers, but like let's say if you switch into a bird and you want to have good flight, you can take your D10 and put it on flight, but you keep your shape shifting. Or maybe shapeshifting is something you want to get rid of in your other forms because you already have the change form ability, and that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really need shape shifting when I've shape shifted, right?
Yeah, these are for like forms that give you other abilities. You can still use that power in your base form to shapeshift into other stuff. It just doesn't give you any additional abilities.
Okay.
That's
What if
how
I have what if I have a power or what are these called? Power actions or
abilities.
ability?
Ability.
What if I have an ability linked to a power and I get rid of that power
You can't use the ability.
at all?
Seems that way, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, because you have to assign what it is to. So if you don't have that power, you can't use the ability.
Okay. All right.
Because it doesn't say to adjust your abilities. That's why you gain new abilities. So I recommend not getting rid of the ability that's allowing you to use your change form for your self-control.
Which is shape shifting.
Yes, so keep that.
Yeah, I need to keep shape shifting. But yeah, I could. Yeah, okay. I see how this goes.
But yeah, the rest of your stuff you can hot swap out. This is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yellow
Hey,
form.
are you glad? Are you glad I did this?
Yeah. Then you may make a yellow form recorded on your auxiliary sheet. You may swap powers around and upgrade any. What? Are you kidding me?
Eh.
Did you read what yellow does?
I get to swap powers around and then upgrade.
So your D10 can become a D12 and your D8 becomes a D10.
Okay, so let's see.
And that's for while you're in yellow and for red. And you would just gain emergency change. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so I get to come up with some interesting forms.
Yes. Goodness. Okay.
Cool. All right. I don't want. I'm taking weird form right away.
Which one's weird form? When an opponent would attack you in close combat while in this form, you may attack or hinder them by first rolling your single. What power are you associating it to?
I mean, it's probably going to end up as shapeshifting. Like the thing that's going to change out is the size change will shift. I'll probably like drop size change and vitality for other things with these forms and just keep shape shifting as the static.
Yep. Well, you have to keep shape shifting as the static because of form changing. Oh, that's it's not even like you could do some interesting stuff with this.
Well, I think this is what Bunker does. This is Bunker's archetype.
Bunker is actually is he? Or no, he's auxiliary. He's 19.
I mean, this is probably naturalist then for sure.
No, this is definitely naturalist. Let's see.
The naturalist has 3 forms where I only get 2.
No, you also have yellow.
Oh right. So yeah, that makes sense.
You get 2 green forms. So that's 2 green, and then you get another yellow.
Let's see. I want weird form. I should probably pick out my yellow form.
No, finish picking out your green stuff first. Yeah.
Well, I want it to be kind of cohesive, you know.
Okay.
I think
make 2 other green forms.
I'm taking. I'm going to take regenerating form for the yellow form.
Boost using power. Yeah, the health is rare to get.
Again, it fits the concept I'm going with.
Yep. Pick one of the following. FYI, it does say instead of taking a yellow, you can choose an additional unused green form above.
I can what?
You may choose one of the unused green forms as your yellow form. But the yellow ones just look better.
They definitely look better.
Yes.
Let's see. So I'm going to take regenerating, weird, And debating between tough and strong.
My recommendation: look at the ability you get for red and plan around that, because you just get that.
My red ability is to change forms.
When you're hit by an attack, change forms before the attack resolves.
I mean,
that's a reaction. So, you're getting hit by a powerful attack. Tough form. Reduces by 3 since you're in the red zone.
Yeah, I'm either debating between, I'll be honest, tough or strong. I don't. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I have natural weapon. I should not take strong form. Like, it's the same power.
Yeah, there you go.
Tough form is absolutely much more useful.
Yeah, there's a few things that have similar abilities as tough form. Also, that's an eye. That is, as long as you are in that form, you just have that. That's your rhino hide.
Well, if you haven't noticed, I'm taking a lot of things that are making me very difficult to kill.
Yes. Well, again, if you hit 0 HP, you don't necessarily die. You just go unconscious, and you use your out ability.
Difficult to knock out.
Yeah.
I see this as a very, durable character.
Yep. Oh, dear goodness.
So for each of these forms, I need to... Let's see. They're all... Okay, weird form. I mean...
Oh, crap. I didn't even read the second page of Minion Maker.
So, did we both pick something dumb that is,
Hold on. I need to read the second half of... Oh, God, there's 3 pages to Minion Maker.
Wahahaha.
Crap. Hold on. I still need to pick an expertise principle, which we'll do in a minute. Principle of great power.
Oh, and this is cool because I get to rearrange my powers a little bit now too. Like I can drop a few and add a few, right?
Yeah, for each form. Hold on. Okay. When you create a minion during a scene using one of your abilities, you choose which of the basic actions. Okay, they blah 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 blah. They act like minions under my control. Cool. The size of the minion is based off of the result of your roll. A 0 or less is a D4 minion. Okay. Minions you summon are only temporary. They might be from... Okay.
So all these forms have to have shape-shifting.
Yeah. Minion forms. Additionally, during hero creation, select a number of minion forms that can apply extra characteristics to your minions based on the bonuses you use when creating them. You get a number of selection equal to the maximum value of the related quality. Example, creativity, magical lore, otherworldly mythos. If you have it at a D8, choose 8. If you have a 10, choose 10, etc. Add these forms to your hero. When you create a minion during a scene, you may discard one bonus you have access to on you or a willing ally to add one of these to your forms. Interesting. Okay, what is my creativity at? D10! Boom! I don't actually know what to pick. Alright, so let's see. The minion can make any basic... Take any of the basic acts. Not just one. When you create a minion...
No.
I need to reread the minions rules.
I'm reading through a ton of things right now.
The minion can fly through the air. Pack. Okay, definitely taking pack.
This is great because I can actually have a variety of powers between forms. This is cool.
Holy crap!
What?
No, I'm just looking. Alright, let's champion when boosting. The bonus, all actions by its creator and other minions. When boosting, may apply the bonus to all Hive Mind. While the minion is active, all of your minions can take the same... Oof.
All right, game. We'll go this route.
I'm not additionally, during hero creation, select a number of minion forms that can apply minions based on the bonus you use.
If I am correct on how this works, this is hilarious.
That can apply extra characteristics. This, I think, as far as beta testing goes, needs to be a little bit more explained.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Select a number of minion forms that can apply extra characteristics to your minions based on the bonus you use when creating them. You get a number of selections equal to the maximum value of the related quality. For example, okay, so I've got 10 forms. I guess the only thing I don't pick is burrowing and floating. And then when I create them, they get the rest of the bonuses based off of how much I succeed by. That's my understanding anyway. This is going to need more stuff later, but I don't necessarily need to build this right now. So
this is neat.
Yeah. We need to pick our expertises too.
Well, I'm almost done. Because I had to do some, like, weirdo stuff here. And we should definitely tell the people what we have. I feel like at some point we should stop and tell people what we've chosen, because we're kind of just like, oh, ooh, looking at things. Ooh, fancy.
I mean, I already showed everybody what I picked.
They can't really see what I've done, though.
Yeah.
But I'm almost there.
I'm going to display all of my stuff at the end. But now I need to pick another principle of expertise. Oh, okay. Principle of expertise. This esoteric. This is esoteric. The sea, space, the undead. Clockwork, gearhead, principle of indestructible. No.
Part detachment's a weird power.
One of the ones I actually built was a drone that could detach parts of itself. It was like, literally, it had no attacking powers. It was just a hindering and escaping and, healing itself thing. His red power was, I hit a bunch of people with, I hit 3 enemies with nuclear energy using my mid, and max dies. I assign each one to one of them. One of the people that has to be hit of those 3 is me. And he heals whenever he is dealt nuclear damage.
Okay, so I think I've got it. Okay, so you want to kind of hear where I'm at?
Sure.
Okay, so at this point, my base powers are shapeshifting, size changing, vitality. We'll see what size changing sticks around when I get retconned. But what I like at the moment is I've picked 3 forms for myself. Okay?
Sure.
And I can form recover and basically go back to my base form to heal at any time. Change forms. Always have a natural weapon to hit things with, which is good.
Yep,
which is based on shapeshifting.
Cool.
So my first 2 forms, I've got a tough form, which I'm picturing. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but it's a very hulking form. For this one, I traded out my size changing for strength. So I've got a form of shapeshifting, strength, and vitality.
That's cool.
And he's got the tough form stuff, so he can resist damage.
Very cool.
Then I've got a weird form, which is also based on shapeshifting, and I've actually traded out, which means when things try to attack me, they're actually hindered because I'm really strange. And I've traded out both vitality and size changing for elasticity and wall crawling.
That is very cool.
What you doing?
Making characters.
Hey, Loki. We're actually streaming and making Sentinel's characters using the new module.
Oh.
Say hi to the world.
I'm shy.
Oh, no, you're not.
That is not a thing you are.
You want to get in on the next?
Lies.
You want to get in on the next round of this? We're almost done with these characters. We're gonna build.
Sure. How long does it take?
We've been at it for over an hour now because we've been talking.
I do not want to spend an hour doing this. I am really tired. Half an hour is probably
my
my
limit.
limit.
For another round either, just because it is getting close to my bedtime, but we'll see.
Okay.
Because this is fun. So, my final form is a regenerating form, where I've actually changed the vitality dice to my highest die.
Wait, so how?
You can't do that yet.
I'm not.
Oh wait, you can for shapeshifting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I still have shapeshifting. It's just I lowered the die and made the vitality die 1 up.
Yep.
Because this is my regenerating form.
Oh my gosh.
And this form's actually based, that is, unlike everything else, is based on vitality. And the other thing I've replaced is I don't have size change, I have part detachment.
Oh my.
So I have part detachment, shapeshifting, and vitality for this form.
What are you, some kind of slime?
Hey, remember my initial expertise?
No.
My initial thing I'm specialized in?
I don't remember actually.
I wasn't
otherworldly
here.
mythos? I wasn't thinking animals.
Oh gosh, no! You're going for some kind of Cthulhian horror.
I haven't been thinking animals this entire time. If you mean animals, then you mean parts of animals that might be on these things. Then yeah, then we're talking animals.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, wait,
now you know where I'm going with this.
We're not done.
I don't. What the hell is going on?
We're building characters using the new Sentinels comics RPG builder. We're not. We just want to see how.
Izzy is making some sort of weird sound-based duplicator.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm making some sort of nightmarish eldritch shapeshifter.
We're letting the dice do most of the talking. By the way, we now you need to pick another expertise at the end of this.
Okay.
Which it should say in your thing on.
Oh, I also get emergency change. I gotta get that power down.
And you get an esoteric principle.
Yeah. I'm so glad. I can't believe you didn't realize I wasn't doing this sooner.
Yeah, no,
I still don't know what you're doing.
So okay, so we rolled through the first 3 levels of this thing, where we picked. Wex, pick your archetype while I explain this to Loki. First you got background. My character got tragic. Wex got academic. We picked a couple of abilities to go with it, and got a principle as to like what is the root foundation of who we are. Then we got to roll for a power source based off of the dice that the background gave us. I got cursed. Wex got... You got nature, right?
Yes.
You got nature.
Best for what I was intending.
Yeah. And then after that, we picked more powers that could go with that. Then we had to roll for our archetypes. I got Minion Maker. Wex got Shapeshifter. Form
Changer, which was what I wanted! It was perfect!
I didn't want Minion Maker, but just seeing how my duplication stuff is working out now, I'm kind of happy with it.
I think I would legit play this character the further this is going, which is
well, the thing is, like, it doesn't lock you in. So, Loki, how this works is you roll between 2 and 3 dice at the end of each thing, and let's say you roll 3 dice, a d6, a d8, and another d8.
Hey, Scritches.
Uh-oh, puppies.
What are you doing, baby?
You can use what is on one side of the dice, or you can add any 2 of the dice together to get that value and use that when you're selecting the next section. So, for example, when at the end of my cursed step, I got to roll a d12 and a d6. I rolled an 11 and a 3. So I could pick something that was either archetype number 3, archetype 11, or archetype 14. I went for archetype 14, which was Minion Maker. Make sense?
Sure.
Glad you sound so enthusiastic about it.
This is a very weird system.
It is. I like it because it's so different. Have you picked your esoteric principle yet?
I am looking right now. I'm trying to decide which one seems appropriate at this point.
I'm assuming otherworldly.
This does not seem like something that is up my alley.
It is incredibly role-playing based.
Yes, this is an incredibly role-play heavy system.
But you have to create your own stuff, and I hate that.
We picked.
I like being told things, just like be this, and then I'm like, yes, I will do the thing.
No, you basically have to take these parts and you do sort of have to form a cohesive concept around.
Yeah, I'm bad at that.
I mean, well, what we're gonna do now, if we don't have time then to build a second character like this, Wex, is we're just gonna pick like Superman or something, and we're gonna build that character without rolling the dice. Wex, for you, I think Principle of Magic or Principle of Destiny makes the most sense.
I think Magic makes the most. What I'm reading, yeah, I think I don't like Destiny for this type, but I really like Magic for this.
All right.
So I'm gonna go with Principle of Magic as my other principle.
Cool.
Can I ask a question that is not to do with any of this?
Sure.
It's on stream, so if you want the world to know.
Izzy, did you pick something to sign up for?
For what? I'm not going.
For this
I'm not going.
I thought you were going.
Nope.
Oh, never mind then.
All right.
Apologies.
Archetypes. Ready, Wex? 2d10s. It's always 2d10s.
Hold on, I got to snip.
I'm pretty sure it's 2d10s for no matter
Snip in my last principle.
Oh, wait. It's not 2d10s. No, wait. For the archetype section. Did I? I jumped backwards. Whoopsie. 100. Divided. Yep, here we go. Modular. The divided artwork just looks so weird. Okay.
I mean, now that I'm making a character here, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Like, I like this a lot. Okay, so now that I've got the principle, is that the final thing that was...
Okay, so at the very bottom of that, it should say... What page are you on again? 96?
I believe I was...
Okay, so at the very bottom, at the end of your red, now roll 2d10s for personality. Personality is always 2d10s.
That is the step I am at. Okay. I hope I get something that pulls this together.
Okay, so what you're looking at is the quick reference on page 106.
106. Okay.
So, what did you roll?
I rolled a 7 and a 3.
I got a 1 and a 7. So let's see. I got Lone Wolf, Stalwart, or Fast Talking.
Alright, where are you, personality chart?
106.
So I've got Impulse, Stalwart, or Alluring.
I don't know what alluring is, but we can go read that.
Alluring probably is what I'm going for based on this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think impulsive. Maybe impulsive fits. Let me look at these.
It doesn't actually give you a. I find it hilarious that I could be a lone wolf duplicator.
A lone wolf of yourself.
Yeah. Because I don't see. I could be fast talking. I don't see myself being stalwart.
Oh, impulsive. Oof. Impulsive gets to upgrade a power die.
Choose an ally until your next turn. You may reroll. Defend an ally by rolling your single power die.
You know what? I'm going with impulsive.
Lone wolf. Okay, so what that means is it gives you your health pools. So all of mine are D8.
Okay, so where are the health pools? How do I know that?
That is calculated later, but like notice your dice for each of them.
I see status die. What is...
So when you're in the green health pool, you roll the green die. If you're in the yellow, you roll yellow. If you're in red, you roll red. Also, if the environment goes to a level, like the environment has green, yellow, and red levels, if the environment or your HP is lower, like let's say you're in green health, but the environment moves to yellow, you now have access to your yellow powers, and you have to roll your yellow die.
Okay.
Because the situation is becoming more dire. So some people
Impulsive also has some very low dice.
Which number is impulsive?
3.
Yes, it does. But it's upgrading one of your powers. Most things don't have that.
Yeah.
Also, write down your out ability. Mine boosts an ally, which makes sense for how I've been building this.
I need to read one thing before I do this.
And it has to be a social quality.
Oh, that actually goes back and switches some things for me.
Oh no.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
You can't.
Okay.
You can't
No,
change anything.
by the nature of changing a die. If I take impulsive.
Oh.
It has to by default.
Yes, because of how your powers work. And then you choose 2 red abilities listed in the next section, same as me.
Okay. So, yeah, so help me out. So I get impulsive. I'm going with that.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me... And I write down the status die, right?
Yes, you have to write that down. That's that.
I don't need to have the dice from the former steps recorded anymore, right?
The numbers? I mean, if you've already assigned them all, no.
Okay, then yeah, I'm just...
Also, you get to make up a quality based on your hero's backstory. So the quality I'm going to assign to myself is... I don't know. Talking to myself. Or...
Yeah, because, Izzy, what I'm going to do is I'm upgrading shapeshifting.
Of course you are.
It's my thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
But that's great because I get to... Ooh, you don't understand what I've just done.
I don't.
Because my regenerating form now has D12, D10, D10.
Whatever. I just took splitting the atom at a D8.
Okay. Let's see. So, okay. So I just want to make sure I've got impulse. So I make up a quality based on my backstory.
Yeah. So anything. So I just picked splitting the atom.
What are you defining for that?
It's something that can tie into the story because it's part of your backstory that you give the DM, and you can roll that as your quality whenever it comes up.
So, like, how would you define that? I'm just curious and how you would play that out in game.
How I would play that out? Anytime I'm duplicating myself or something. Or actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna make it a scrapper or brawling. So, when getting into a fight, I've had a lot of practice fighting with myself. And
let's see.
Bar room brawls.
What's a good word for something like unsettling?
Nebulous, mysterious, daunting.
No, because those apply later. I want something that, like, there's something, like, creepy and mysterious that just, like, makes your
Chilling.
Goosebumps on your skin.
Chilling.
That implies too much, like, certainty. I don't know.
Unnerving.
I like unnerving. That's good. I'm going to go with unnerving.
Okay. Now we just scroll down and we pick red abilities.
Oh, I have to do... Where do I put my out ability? Is there anywhere specific?
Underneath your red abilities.
It's a red ability?
Right. Underneath.
Right, because it's something I use
only when you're unconscious.
I'm knocked out.
Yeah. Okay, so instead of doing a normal... So here's the thing about abilities, or red abilities. They're actually broken up. So there's athletic powers, elemental/energy powers. There's one for each grouping of power, and one for each quality. Some of them, for example, major regeneration, hinder yourself using vitality. Use your min die. Recover health equal to your max plus mid die. That's good, but you need to have vitality to use it, obviously.
Give me a minute. I need to snip something.
Okay. That said, if you're using an athletic power, you need to use something that is unathletic power if it requires a power or a quality. So, for example, for elemental / energy powers, you can't use teleportation as part of your charged up blast. Got it?
Can I finish writing this ability down real quick, and then I will give you my full attention to what you are saying, because it sounds important.
Shameful.
Don't shame him.
I shame everything.
Shame.
No, you don't.
Shame.
You don't have the balls or bells for it.
Okay. I'm sorry. So now, where am I going now?
You're scrolling down to red abilities.
Red ability.
They're at the very bottom after all of the personalities.
Okay, I'm just writing one thing down here. Okay.
Oh my god, that's terrible. Okay, yeah, that's
Okay, so I'm at red abilities now. So what am I doing?
Okay, so notice at the top it says athletic powers, and then it's going to keep going. You need to have a power of the given type. So you remember I told you that the reference page?
Okay.
So you have
I have some athletic powers.
Yeah.
And I have.
Yeah.
I think I just have athletic and self-control.
Okay, so then you
I have mobility in one form, but that's about it.
Okay, then you can't, unless your form changing said you had different red abilities, but I don't think it did.
Am I allowed? But I'm not allowed to switch those out.
No, because it's after that step. So you can only take things in self-control or athletic. If it specifies, for example, if you look at the top, the very first one, it said you had to the regenerating burst, the very first red ability in that block. It said you need to use vitality. If you don't have the athletic vitality power, you can't take that red ability. But if it just has brackets that says power, then you could use agility, speed, strength, or vitality to get that red ability.
I get 2 of these?
You get 2 red. Yes, that's it.
I am taking major regeneration.
Do you have athletic?
Athletic powers are... Vitality is an athletic power.
Okay, you do have vitality. That's the only way you can get that.
That's fine. Yeah. Honestly, I have vitality in all but one of my forms.
Okay, that's good.
So,
which means...
And again, it is the main power for the, regenerating form, so you kind of see where my mind is going with this.
Yeah. So I'm taking sacrifice.
That makes a lot of sense for a duplicate character.
Well, actually, I have 3 additional red powers I can get from Minion Master.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
Which is Construction Focus, Swarm Combat, and Sacrifice. I'm taking Swarm Combat and Sacrifice.
Okay, so I need to check. Let's see. Mobility powers don't really make sense for me enough. What I want is probably a self... Oh, I can take...
if you have a mobility power, it might look into it, because that can be a get-out-of-jail ability.
Oh, I can take major regeneration from my self-control as well.
Okay, cool.
There's a second option for that, that's neat. But I'll probably... actually, by the time I'm in the red... Maybe I do just want to put it on shape-shifting.
I mean, whichever. It's... Let me know when you got it. This shouldn't take us too long. No, as I note, it does say that you need to have at least a D6 rating or higher to take it in the category, which just means you've been given a die of it already.
I need to have a what?
One of your previous things. You've already chosen that ability or something. Like, it can't be something that gave you, like, a D4 in something.
Okay.
Let me know when you finish picking your 2. Then we've got one final step.
Okay. There's a lot of things here, so I'm looking at them.
I'm sorry, 2 final steps. 3 final steps. Finishing touches we're not going to worry about. This is just going to be us describing our dude.
Not that.
Time Slinger.
Now, what are the eye actions?
They're always there. They're innate.
Okay, cool. See, mutable form looks interesting. Choose 3 basic actions, use power in your pool, and take 1 action with your max die, a different action with your mid die, and a 3rd action with your min die. How does that work? Is that like I get to do like 3 basic things in the same turn?
Pretty much.
That's pretty sweet. I like that.
Well, again, a red power supposed to be good.
Screw it. Everything's shape-shifting for me. I'm going to change that to be even better for that. I mean, I might as well just use shape-shifting all the time because it makes all the sense with the way I'm doing this character.
I mean, if you're doing that, you have to make sure that the things you're picking are in the body control.
Yeah.
Red. Okay. Self-control powers, that's what it is?
Yeah, they are both self-control powers, so...
Swap 2 of your power dice. They stay swapped into...
I'm taking Major Regeneration and Mutable Form. They make the 2 most sense to me. I mean, change self is tempting, but I only get 2, right?
Yes.
So, those 2 make the most sense to me, the way I want to do this. Because Mutable Form would let me, like, do multiple things in the same turn, and that's pretty unique. Like, that... That's not something most characters get, right?
Nope. No, it's not. Again, though, so basic actions are attack, hinder, boost. You can't just attack 3 times. It looks like.
I mean, that's still not bad.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You could even take one of those as an overcome, which gets you hero dice. That's actually really good. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're just like shape-shifting at max all the time for everything.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically how I'm doing this character. Like, his shape-shifting is the source of everything he does.
Okay. So
even his recovery to some amount is affected by his shape-shifting.
So you've picked your 2 reds?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to do Major Regeneration Mutable Form.
Okay, jump down to page 118. So now we have the ability to retcon what we've done thus far. So,
all right.
We can swap any 2 dice within our powers. So let's say you had a D10 for flight and you recently picked up like strength at a D6 and you think strength is more useful. You can flip those because they're both powers. Or you can do the same thing to your qualities. Or you can choose a different power or quality used in one of your abilities. So let's say you decided to put flying on one of your first things, and then you started getting shape-shifting for everything. And it has the ability to use a power or a quality. You can now put that at shape-shifting as well. Or you can add a D6 power or quality from any category. Or you can increase your red status die up 1 size, up to a D12.
So...
Or you can change one of your principles to any other principle, or you can gain an extra red ability.
Ooh, I can get an extra red ability.
Mm-hmm. I actually took a D6 and took close combat.
I can swap any 2 dice within my powers, and then any 2 dice within my qualities.
You can do one of these things.
Right. Choose a different power quality used in one of your abilities.
Mm-hmm. Add a D6. Like, the best things to do, in my opinion, are either get another quality or just get another ability.
Right.
Especially if you can get an ability that's just an innate. Like the thing.
I mean, I think the unique quality I picked up is good enough instead of like, because I wanted an intimidating ability, and that sort of qualifies for that.
Okay.
Let's see. Increase the red status die in by 1 size.
Yeah, so what's your red health at? A D8?
Not great. It's a D8.
You could turn it to a D10. Which makes it pretty respectable, actually.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking, like, so the thing I really like the look of, is one more red ability.
Go for it.
Because I think what I'll take with that, because remember I said I want 3, but I can't afford, get 3.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I really like change self, and then I can just swap my D12 to whatever I need it each turn.
Go for it. And now we've got one more step.
Yeah, because I can do that power with any of my powers.
Only if you're in red.
Right, but any of my forms.
Yes.
Because my forms give me extra abilities. Ooh, I really like that. I want it. Let me just take this ability. I really want to play this character now.
All right. Well, we're almost done. You ready?
Almost.
Okay. So as soon as you finish that, we're going to jump over to page 119, and now we actually get to tally up what our HP is.
I hope my HP's high.
Okay, so here's how it works. You ready? So
Yep.
8 plus the maximum value of your red status die. So for me, that's 8, so that's 16 total. Plus your choice of any one athletic power or mental quality.
Okay, so where am I looking at this?
So step 7, page 119.
Okay, so it is red.
Plus 8. Your red plus 8. Do you have any athletic or mental... athletic powers or mental qualities? The things that were asked... So you have vitality, right? What's your vitality at?
Yeah, I have both vitality and self-discipline.
Okay, which one's higher?
They're the same.
What are they at?
They are both D8.
Okay, so that's plus 8. So you have 8 plus your red status die max, which is
8.
Okay, so you're at 24 HP right now.
Feels really low.
I don't. Okay, and then you can choose to roll a D8 or add 4 to that. So let's see. I've got 8 plus 10 plus... What's my... 8 plus... So I'm at 26 plus the D8. I just rolled a 6. I have 32 HP.
Okay. I just rolled a 7.
Okay.
So I have 31, I guess.
8 plus 8 plus 8, 24. Yep, that is correct.
All right. That's pretty good, actually. Especially because I have a lot of reduction stuff.
Yep, same. Okay, so now what we're going to do is max scroll down until you find your number. So your green is going to be... My green is going to be between 32 and 25 HP. My yellow is going to be between 24 and 12, which is the largest range. Actually, that's a lie. All of mine are... No, that's right. And my red zone is going to be from 11 or less. And then when you hit 0, you're out. So what do you think? You're at 31?
Yeah. I think that's a fairly respectable health pool, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about it. The lowest you can have is 17. The highest you can get is 40. And 40s you'd have to be, like, climbing for. You'd have to roll max out on that D8, and you'd have to put a red status die into an athletic or a mental quality. And your red status die would also have to be a 12, which I don't think a lot of things get red status die in 12. We can actually take a quick look at that. Naive gets it at 12. Naive. Actually, we can just go straight up to 9.
Okay, so this sounds interesting. But it's 10 o'clock, so I'm going to start getting ready for bed soon.
Good.
Yeah,
night.
I'm only going to be making one character tonight, Izzy.
Okay.
I'll have to go to bed after this too, but I'm finishing this process.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's only 2 ways for you to get 40 HP, which is if you get naive or nurturing personality.
You get what?
Naive or nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
But they both have D6s in green and yellow. So, like, they're garbage unless they're in the red zone. But, yeah. So, Wex, that is the... Actually, no, we're not done. We've got one more step. I think. Health. What's after health? Step 8. Finishing touches. So, Wex, describe your hero.
Creepy ass motherfucker. Like just the whole background and everything as far as I can picture it.
As far as you can picture it, what can he do? Like, what are... Because you've been going over... But now, like, as a final thought, like, what is your character? What does he do? What do you see him as?
In terms of, like, how he plays?
Yeah. Like, what he does, what all of your abilities do, that kind of stuff, what he's trained in.
I'll give you a quick background from what I can see, too. So this dude absolutely probably used to be, like, a university professor of some type.
Mm-hmm.
Who definitely got fired due to, like, probably his, like, impulsive nature and, like, kind of the almost Ghostbusters style nowhere nature of his research.
Yep.
He probably delved into secrets he was not supposed to because he sort of has, like, eldritch voices whispering in his head, which he thought for a while he might just be crazy. Turns out they were actually real and led him to, like, this, like, great source of, like, primal power, probably somewhere underneath the earth, that kind of made him its, like, eldritch avatar. So he shapeshifts, and it's a natural thing, but it's like a horrible primeval natural thing of stuff that was meant to be buried long ago in Earth's history. So he basically shapeshifts into, like, awful monster things that are straight out of people's nightmares. Think, like, straight Lovecraftian in this situation. Like, even just in his base form, the whole idea is he's super durable, and he just, like, turns into these horrifying monsters that he can, like, take nearly any shape with and any size. Like, he can make himself intimidating, imposing. In combat, he basically is like a flurry of, like, shifting claws and fangs and teeth and, like, pincers and just anything you can pull out of a nightmare, and all his forms, like, reflect that too. Like, he has, like, this horrible, like, almost brutish dino gorilla thing that's, like, super tough and can, like, throw around dump trucks as needed. He has, like, this weird, strange, like, eldritch octopus form that can just get places and get into anywhere and is just creepy and unsettling. He has this regenerating form, which he's basically a mass of slimy bugs and just is impossible to kill and just full of nightmares.
Oh my gosh, wow.
But he also understands he is a hero. Like, this is a force that is about protecting, like it is there to keep the world safe, but its definition of safe is really weird, and he basically sort of has to temper its definition of safe with the normal definition of safe, and he's always kind of trying to, like, fight this, like, primal instinct to do terrible things because he knows he shouldn't be doing that.
Wow.
And he needs to like use this power to do good without like becoming like an awful murder primal instinct monster.
That's really cool.
Right? I want to play this now.
So my guy, from what I can see, because of it, he was just like a inspector at a nuclear power plant when people were trying to or I'm sorry, a experimental fusion reactor plant where people were trying to split the atom and throw things together to turn 2 hydrogen into helium and start that creative process. And he was just kind of a chatterbox, wasn't paying attention, and he got caught in the beam. And as a result of that, like, he's now cursed. Like, whenever he tries to go somewhere, like, he's either moving too quick, that he's leaving parts of himself behind, images of himself. So wherever he walks and goes, there's always a couple of him, a block behind him or a few steps behind. And after a while, he learned how to control this power in such a way that he could effectively, like, replay himself. So he can split himself into multiple ways, into multiple beings, and as one of them is doing something, trying to catch up to him because of his incredible speed, he's got like 3 people doing previous actions, but they're all being done simultaneously. I don't have quite as much as you do. Mine was mostly built upon the duplication power.
I mean, I hit the shape-shifting. I hit it all came from that mythos really early. I'm like, I wonder if I can take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, I got tragic, which can be anything from, Spider-Man. Pretty much anything Marvel could have been this background.
Definitely. Yeah, like, I even have a name for this hero already. I don't know his real name, but I have his superhero name.
What would it be?
Shogoth.
Shogoth. I don't know what I would name this guy. Again, this is like my 3rd hero I've made in the past 48 hours. Just because I like the process of doing this. I think we got 2 of the more complicated builds because of Minion Master and shape-shifting.
Yeah, but like I like the way it turned out. And I kind of like starting that way because it helps me understand it a little better.
Yeah.
Man, do I want to play this character, though. Like, especially with Shapeshifting 12, he's basically like a mass of constantly shifting flesh.
Yeah. Which is horrifying in some respects.
Oh, he's meant to be horrifying. Like, that's entirely where I took that unnerving ability. Like, I wanted... Like, remember when I said, hey, I take stealth, and you're like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine this nightmare creature stalking you.
Well, oh, that was your principle?
No. My 2 principles are Principle of Whispers and Principle of Magic. I'm basically a magical creature at this point. I'm like attuned to magic, like kind of in the way Night Mist is in the series. Like I'm now like I see myself as kind of this like occult investigator in some ways. I'm not as good at the investigating part. Like I'm more of like almost a hunter.
Gotcha.
But I understand magic enough to generally know things I'm going up against based on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, looking at my principles, principle of speed and principle of great power. Like, speed kind of took a backseat to the duplication, which is why I think it's...
So if I were to do this in the actual creation, I'd keep it very similar. I'd probably just change a few minor things.
Like?
I'd probably find a way to, at this point in the build, get magic into it. Like knowledge magic, which I don't actually have.
So what did you do as your retcon?
I took the extra red power, and I do not regret it.
Okay, because you could have taken a magic thing instead.
Yeah, but change self is really useful, and it lets me shuffle that D12 anywhere I need it.
Yeah. Like, so that's the thing, though, like, with going this method. Like, you're not set in. If you wanted to build or do a... What was the other method called? Page 1. Creating heroes. So, the constructed method is where we pretty much select everything from the get-go. So if you wanted to do that next time, you could build a constructed method hero where you pretty much use everything the same, but you can just pull a quality you don't like, that you don't think is useful, and swap it out. Because constructed method is you already know what you want, so
you go in that direction.
Yeah, so at the end where it tells you to roll dice, so for example, the beginning where it says, roll 2d10s to get your background. Instead, you're just going to look through and just be like, no, I want a background as a exile. I'm going to pick that, number 15. Then you go
I very much like going through the process, and I'll be honest, I think this might be one of the better random character generators I've seen.
Yeah, because the thing is, it doesn't lock you in. Like, you can get screwed by rolling, 3 dice and they all turn up on like 2. But even then, you have the option between, in the next set of 2 and 4.
Yeah, but because you have a couple choices with each roll, I think it works as well. Like, it starts guiding you down a certain path.
Yeah.
But I really ended up loving this character that I created.
Like, I'll be honest, Wex, the character the one I sent you the image of not too long ago, is the one I actually love the most. Former criminal. He was a created individual. Former criminal as far as... Alright, was former... Yeah, criminal. Nope, this is the wrong one. Hold on. Let me just read this out real quick. So, background, criminal. Archetype, flyer. Power source, artificial being. So what I ended up building was just like a drone either from one of the villains. So like think Baron Blade or Omnitron or something that just gained sentience on its own and decided to just stop being a nightmare. And it's like until it's red level, all it does is it flies around, hinders people, and boosts allies by telling them what to do. And it has to recharge on nuclear power. In its red level, it can, cause its core to effectively have a meltdown, which ironically recharges itself and damages 2 other people. So, and its 2 red abilities is recharge itself and hurt 2 other people, and the last one is GTFO, which is just like you go somewhere very far away.
Yeah. No, I like the way, like I said, this turned out. I would maybe tweak it a little bit. But this concept is so solid.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you need to run a game now so I can play this character, right?
I might do a one-shot at some point, but we have to finish the current game we're in first.
Oh, very much so. I definitely agree. But, that was fun to make a character like this.
Well, we'll see. So if I do this, the beginning of the session is going to be everybody makes a character. You're just going to say, nope, already got one.
Again, I might walk through and I'll probably play with this later and make a tweaked version of them that's a little more optimized for what I'm looking for.
Again, I think the beauty of this is not to have something optimized.
Well, I don't mean optimized in terms of the background. I might, for example, switch off the nature background given a choice. I sort of rolled with that as a natural thing, but in reality, I might take, for example, something maybe a little more otherworldly as my background.
Do backgrounds even have an option for otherworldly?
Well, let's take a look. I'm actually curious.
Upper class.
No, maybe not. Actually, nature does get me a lot of what I want, doesn't it?
Wait, are you talking background or are you talking power source?
Oh, power source.
Yeah, you took academic.
No, yeah. I like academic as that.
If you're talking power source,
I'm seeing if any of them are.
The other one that might work for you would be either unknown or
supernatural. Maybe. I could see supernatural.
You ended up with nature, right?
Yeah, I could see supernatural as well, to be honest.
What did you gain from your nature?
Power-wise, you mean? Or
yeah,
ability-wise?
That's where you gained shape-shifting, right?
Yeah. But I could easily gain that from other places as well.
Yeah, you could gain that also from supernatural. But what else did you gain from nature?
Some of the attacks are nice. I have one of my most consistent, just natural weapon. Just attack using your max die.
Yep, that's really good.
Yeah, especially again shapeshifting.
Yeah, supernatural 71. You don't want supernatural.
I don't.
Boost an ally using your power. You and nearby heroes in the yellow and red zones recover health equal to your min die. Boost or hinder using power and apply that mod to multiple close targets. Personal upgrade and reach through the veil. There are no combat abilities in here.
That's true. Yeah, nature actually ended up working surprisingly well.
Yeah, this is all support. Like, again, like your power source determines kind of like, are you a frontline brawler or are you more of a supporty person? And then after
there's a lot of ways to view a power too. I've listened to some of their podcast stuff on this where they're like they pick like 3 to 4 different power sources for almost every character.
Yeah.
Kind of give you what you want.
Yeah, pretty much. And like you actually know exactly when you've run into the power source of a known hero in universe. Like for example, if you scroll up to I think it's Dynastin. That is an option here, right?
I could see extra dimensional. No, nah, I don't get my shapeshifting from that.
Yep. So is it genetic? It might be genetic. Okay, yeah. Look at genetic. Notice danger sense, adaptive, area assault, growth, and rally. 2 of those abilities are straight out of Legacy.
Yeah, that is.
Like my minion maker, I think one of them was called construction pylons. The thing is though, like the names of these abilities you have now.
You change them, yeah.
Oh, you change them to whatever you want. Like if you actually read through the page in between each section, it goes about how the guy's like, yeah, no, I used to have this character named the Chrono Ranger, but like now he's a little bit older, more of a teacher. He's calling himself the Time Slinger, and here's how I went about building him using this method.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually built the Time Slinger using this method, saying like, okay, I rolled this, so I'm going to choose this because it fits with what's going on. Like, oh, he's a man at a time, which is I think number 17.
Yeah. No, I really like this. I really like the character I ended up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like again, there's enough option where like people will be. I don't think anybody will be.
It's encouraging some real creativity too. Like everything about this screams like make a creative thing.
Yeah. And again, because of how the system works, not necessarily like if you have chapter 2 of this, which I'll pull open real quick.
I have chapter.
Yeah, pull it open, playing the game. Scroll down to page. I was actually just reading this not too long ago. I think it's like late 30s. But whenever you see the little comic strips, I'm looking for Headlong throwing a dude on the floor.
Can I be honest with who my favorite conceptually of that group is?
Muerto or Aeon Girl?
Aeon Girl's my least favorite, to be honest, for myself.
Okay. Who do you
not as a character, but just as a concept, because I enjoy puns. It's definitely Rockstar.
Okay. They've actually got a cute scene here between Rockstar and Muerto where they gain a hero point.
Come on, she wants to be a rock star, and her power is to make rocks.
Yep.
That's amazing.
So Wex, page 30 in the chapter 2 thing.
Also, oh man, just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, does Biomancer look awesome now?
What page?
24.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he looks so cool now.
He does.
Wait, so they said they're gonna just kind of side note with Sentinel stuff. They're gonna do more with him in the RPG. You don't want to know why one of the main reasons he wasn't as big a player in the games?
Why?
Because he was fucking terrified of the Scholar.
That makes sense.
Wait, the Scholar's one of the few characters that could just instantly unmake him. Like,
did the Scholar die in Oblivion?
Yeah! Did you not pick that up from the cards?
I did not. I'm assuming he gave his thing to guys or something.
Yeah, that erased him from existence.
It erased guys from existence, or it erased the scholar from
It
existence.
erased the scholar. He saved guys.
Oof.
He was the first casualty of the war. Like, Oblivion basically killed guys. He actually like was able to like crush the like weird paradox stuff guys was made out of. And in order to save guys' life, the scholar gave up his existence and fused guys with the Philosopher's Stone.
Wow. Okay, who else died? Night Mist also kicked.
Night Mist died. Night Mist absolutely died. Scholar died. Ra died.
We got a new Ra though.
No, you only have a new Ra in the Tactics universe, which is not the main canon of this universe.
Well, there's gonna be a new Ra at some point.
Maybe. There isn't one at the moment.
Okay.
Those might have been the only 3 deaths. I think everyone else lived.
Oh, but come on, Ra the Setting Sun is the best card.
Ra's
I will
Sun-
light everything on fire.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I'm trying to think. Oh, Haka was sort of killed. He wasn't killed, but when the gate shut, he got locked out of the universe.
This still confuses me as to how there's this Haka, there's Prime Warden's Haka and Extreme Prime Warden's Haka.
I mean, Haka basically absorbed all of those Hakas.
I thought there was only supposed to be two Hakas. Him
There
and...
are now.
Okay.
The idea was Haka for a while was just getting infinitely stronger because he basically would just absorb all iterations of himself eventually.
Yeah. And that's because of the Capitan, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. She fucked with things. But
Did she die?
Yeah, okay, yeah, she did too. Well, La Commodora is currently stranded outside of time and space.
Poor.
So she's kind of dead, but not really.
I actually want them to write books on their main story from the card game.
I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think if anyone else is dead. Mr. Fixer came back to life.
Yes, we know that. So
Dark
Watch is missing its leader.
No, that's not their leader.
Night Mist isn't the leader?
Nope, it's Expatriate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Dark Watch is a bit of a dysfunctional team.
Alright, Prime Wardens have lost Haka, but...
They got new Haka.
Okay, so they do still have a Haka. Yeah, they
have the girl Haka.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Freedom 5 is all still intact.
Yep, they're still good to go.
Oh, but no, actually, it's changed.
But they're all still alive.
Yeah, well, Legacy has passed on. I think it's actually... Yeah,
no, Legacy is alive. He has passed on his title.
Yes, he's passed it on to his daughter, and he is now the hero known as Heritage.
That is correct. I'm just trying to roll through like various heroes. I'm pretty sure everyone else survived the conflict. It was rough, but everyone else made it through.
The Naturalist. And now there's new heroes.
I mean, that's the idea. That's what we are.
Yep.
Yay. Oh, Captain Cosmic, his fate is unknown.
Really?
He absorbed, well, because Infinitor died, saving his life. And he absorbed Infinitor's power and did a cool thing with it, but that power, like, blew up at him, and he, like, is out floating in space somewhere and is lost currently.
So the Prime Wardens are missing a member.
The Prime Wardens shattered apart. Like, the old Prime Wardens are basically gone. And if you've seen the starter adventure, is basically about reforming the Prime Warden.
Okay, I have not looked at that. I was actually debating running that at some point.
Yeah, because again, Old Haka's gone, Captain Cosmic's missing, Fnatic isn't doing great because of what happened to Ra, and also she has a cursed sword that La Commodora gave her. Argent Adept has some new purpose. Oh, Akash 3 died.
The Spirit of the Earth died?
You should really listen to some of these episodes. I'm telling you, they're enlightening.
I really just kind of like want them to write a book, and I will read that.
She's you want the story, the podcast is the way to do it.
All right.
She's not actually the spirit of the earth. It's complicated.
Okay.
I don't want to get into it, but so
is the Argent Adept's new purpose to reform her?
It's basic. So his purpose is actually something that you can't find in the card games. He's trying to stop a threat that is like developed behind the scenes of the card games that he needs to like find virtuosos to deal with.
Huh.
No, but Akash Shriya ended up sacrificing herself. She created Akash Flora, which was the giant tree in Megalopolis now.
Okay.
Which is essentially what's left of her. The old her died, and Akash Flora isn't really like a true sentient creature. It's more like just a magic giant tree that sort of is aware of itself.
Okay. Also, can we talk for a minute about Muse?
I think Muse is cool.
Muse is the visionary.
Yes, she is.
Before she became the
visionary, she's the dreamer.
Yeah, well,
specifically this version.
It's the dreamer before she became the visionary, but yeah.
She will never become the visionary because the visionary is very specifically from an alternate reality where things went to a point where visionary was trained to become what she is.
But she has similar powers, doesn't she?
Similar, but it's the same powers, but expressed in different ways. Visionary was basically trained to be a psychic soldier.
Okay.
Muse has no such training because that program, Visionary, stopped from ever happening.
Yeah.
Which is why the Dreamer came about in the first place. And because of that, her powers express themselves more in construct-based stuff, where Visionary is more like telekinetic and psychic combat.
Oh crap, I didn't realize that her characteristic was former villain.
Who?
Muse.
Yeah, she was the Dreamer.
Well, I know, but like... the thing is, I don't consider the Dreamer to be a villain.
She didn't mean to be, but she was. She was very dangerous.
Oh god, and she has the nurturing personality.
Mm-hmm.
I actually find this kind of amusing because she might have more HP than some of the other heroes from this group.
So yeah, I'm still trying to think if there were any other like casualties. Oh, Baron Blade, quote unquote, died.
All according to plan?
Basically. He legit actually was important and did help save the multiverse.
I know, did he drop the moon on something?
He did drop the moon on something. That wasn't his biggest thing he did, though. He played a legit triple cross.
So who did he betray first?
He initially he decided to work with the heroes, then betrayed the heroes to Voss, then betrayed Voss back to the heroes.
That's pretty impressive.
And he had that as his plan from the beginning.
Because, yeah, he's freaking luminary.
Yeah, so he died, quote unquote. He did not die. He's back. He's a villain again. I'm just going through.
What about Omnitron? Did Omnitron you survive? Is there an?
Yes.
Is there an?
He got fucked up, but he survived.
Is there going to be another Omnitron?
I don't know if there can be at this point. No. Not in this universe.
He's not going to upgrade himself to Omnitron 11.
That's not what he is. He sacrificed himself to deal with Omnitron 4, and
then Unity put him back together.
Yeah.
I thought that was still technically Omnitron 10
though. No, not exactly. He's sort of. Sort of.
Okay.
I mean, his time drive doesn't work anymore, so like all Muse time powers are basically non-functional.
So he's just a robot.
I mean, he's a really good robot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. Stuntman got fucked the hell up.
He got ugly.
Bor the Unstable fucking blew up in his face. And he lived.
He's not doing any more movies.
Stuntman, their thing with Stuntman is he legitimately is one of like the most oddly tough characters in the Sentinels universe. Like, he has a penchant for just being able to take a beating.
Host. What about the Southwest Sentinels?
The Void Guard at this point?
Yeah, the Void Guard.
They did survive. They're not doing so hot. Those shards are real bad. Also, what is it? Rife does not have the Shadow Cloak anymore.
Uh-oh.
That got torn off of him by Voss. And it's making him go a little crazy. Like, he's kind of gotten a little paranoid. That's actually what his variant is meant to represent. Is like he kind of tried to recreate the Shadow Cloak with tech, but it's not as good, and he's like a little like just like paranoid about it because his gem was making him go the craziest. In fact, in the Miststorm universe, which is the Tactics universe, he sort of goes straight villain and murders the rest of the Southwest Sentinels.
Which is impressive considering how powerful they become.
Rye's really powerful too. There's stuff with Prime War where we'll get to see that Wraith again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like, yeah, that they have to deal with that because Dr. Medico still has Gloomweaver sealed inside him.
I missed that.
Yep, that's why he goes red because when they beat Gloomweaver, they sealed him inside Medico's crystal. Medico has Gloomweaver in him.
I completely missed that.
Also, not a good influence.
Also, I'm just taking a look at the new people, rock stars. What's up? We got
yeah,
Rockstar. Oh, I also love that of the Rockstar's just like nope, don't need a. I don't need any kind of mask. Let's see. Muse, Vanessa Log, late teens, early teens, mid-teens, late teens. A few months.
What page are you looking on for these guys?
I just pulled open their character sheets.
Okay.
Fair, pale, skinned, none. dark, skinned, metallic.
Do you know where Aeon Girl came from, by the way?
Isn't she just like Miss Marvel mixed with the Silver Surfer?
No, she's kind of Lifeline's kid, sort of.
What?
So Lifeline, when they were dealing with all the Scions, Aeon Master was basically about to go critical and burn a lot of the immediate city down. Lifeline's an energy manipulator, absorber, and redirector. He basically can manipulate energy. He pretty much absorbed all of Aeon Master and then had to do something with all that energy.
And he put it into a girl?
He made a girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Aeon Girl is created by Lifeline. Took him out of the fight, that's for sure. But he basically made a new being that is made of Oblivion's power. I get the impression she's meant to be very Starfire-ish.
Yep, that's what I got from that. Also, her name is Windy Farm.
It's what?
Windy Farm. Windy Farm.
Yeah, Lifeline is not the best dad. He doesn't really know how to deal with the fact that he made a child.
I actually want to look at this now. What is Lifeline's full name?
It's Deadline.
No, I know, but what's his...
What's his...
alien name?
Terragoth.
That's it? Terragoth?
Well, that's his actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Terragoth. He's basically the most angsty edgelord of the superheroes.
I mean, he was a villain originally, so yeah.
Right, but he was a villain who's I'm doing this for greater good that you can't possibly understand.
Yeah.
And I'm a monster for doing it, but it must be done.
Da-da-da-da.
So dark.
So edgy. All right, let's see. Then
He
Headlong.
also is an idiot who made a deal with the Blood Countess.
And that's why is that him as a vampire?
So he's not a vampire. Blood magic is how vampires are created, but his race can naturally use blood magic because his race is has basically mystical power to manipulate ley lines, which is why he can do all the energy shit he does.
Mm-hmm.
Blood magic being a very natural source of that. He felt he needed more power, so he went to the Court of Blood and made a deal.
Good job.
He basically got a free power boost, but found out later that at any time, Blood Countess Bathory can just make him her bitch. Anytime.
Poor guy.
No, it's all his fault. I do not feel bad for him. He's a fucking impulsive moron.
So edgy. Also, can we talk about Headlong for a minute and how, of the 5, I think he's the least interesting?
I disagree, actually. He has an interesting background, and I really like his power set because I like kinetic momentum as a speed version of speed.
Yeah, I mean, he's all about momentum transfer, which I think of the powers we got from this group, it's... you know what, Rockstar is not the most interesting, but she actually has a fun...
I like them. I think they're a great teenage superhero group, which is something Sentinels hasn't had until this point.
Megan the Hammer Lee.
That's Rockstar, isn't it?
Yes. Let's see. Stones. She just turns herself into a rock.
No, she can make crystals and rock. Either she doesn't turn into it, she can surround herself with it, or make projections of it other places.
She's Diamond Head.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. We've already talked about Muerto. I love how it says age mid-teens at death. This poor guy.
It's so sad what happened to him. Do you know why he ended up the way he did?
I'm assuming spite has something to do with it.
No, not at all. No, he lived through spite.
Okay, but he had to go through spite.
Yeah, but so he was their big fanboy.
Yes.
And he was from Rook City, and his parents promised he could go to Megalopolis and go see the Freedom 5 headquarters as long as he got good grades. So he aced the year, and he saved up money for him to go, and he was the only one. He couldn't go, he had to go alone. He didn't go with his parents, but he was really excited. He went to the Freedom 5 building. He was full of awe and wonder, and then the klaxon sounded and Oblivion nuked the building.
Oh my gosh. And he was the only one in there?
No, tons of other people were in there. But somehow, all of that energy plus all of the weird artifacts and tech that are in that tower basically just attached his spirit to the rubble. He is a ghost bound to a pile of garbage.
And he can haunt other stuff.
Yeah, he's a ghost in the machine. That is his power.
Yeah.
But he also, again, is a ghost in the machine bound to a pile of broken down technology.
Woof. I'm actually going to just send you the sheet me and Nick wrote for him for the LARP we did.
Yeah. It is sad what happened to him. He got a bad deal.
Yeah.
He got a real, which is why he calls himself Muerte. He sees himself as dead in all respects.
Yeah.
He is the saddest character.
Yep.
Or Muerte.
Alrighty. Well, I think we've talked enough about this game for now, so we're going to say goodbye to all of you streamers.
I should sleep.
Yep. If you guys enjoyed this video, please throw a comment down. What kind of a hero would you like to play if you ever got a chance to play the Sentinels Comics RPG? And it should be coming out soon in its full version because it's been a while. I can't wait to actually get the full physical books and everything that they're going to be sending us. What about you, Max?
I'm looking forward to the History of Sentinels universe.
I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward... Actually, if that just fills in all the details.
The deepest fake lore.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch you all next time. Say goodbye, Wax.
Good night, everybody.
Woohoo! Bye.
Ugh.